Good day everyone. So our lesson title for today is strong versus weak states. So we are on our week 9 on the political economics, a continuation from our week 8. So our learning outcome, we will be discussing strong versus weak states using the elite theory in the view of society. So if we say state, it is a nation or territory considered as an organized political community under one government. Plus, actually, kaning state, it consists of three components. So, the idea of the state is nationalism. So, the other one, or the other component is the physical base of the state. So, if we say physical base, naadara ang population, resources, and even technology. And the third component is the institutional expression of the state. So, it consists of administrative and the political system mismo. Then, under the state class, we have the strong versus weak states. Later on, we will be discussing that elite theory, no? So, let's focus here sa strong and weak na states. So, there are two distinct of state in terms of its strength in our political economy. So, the weak state and the strong states. So, if we say weak states, weak states are not intrinsically weak or weak because of geographic perspective or colonialism. They are weak kay tungod they supply lesser or less than adequate quantities sa aspects of political goods or even have a poorer quality political goods or both. So, plus, kaning weak state manggod, it has a high level of concern with domestically generated na mga threats to the security of our government. So, under diri sa weak state are the third world na countries like Philippines. And another point diri as sa weak na states, they have multi-party democracies, single party na regimes, military type of regimes, and even personal dictatorships. So, class, weak states are, they are less able to fulfill ilahang mga tasks and they could also face mga rivals. So, unsa ning mga rivals? For example, kanang mga organized na mga crime sa isa ka bansa. Even guerrilla nga movements like mga terrorists and other states na competition, no? So, mo na siya ang sa weak state. While there is a strong states adhering to sensible macroeconomic policies including openness nila to international trade, developing na regulatory environment that stimulates economic growth and even keeps inflation low and encouraging foreign and domestic na investments. So, the strong state, ang ilahang focus diri is the security. So, security can be viewed primarily in terms of pagprotekta nila sa components of the state from outside threat and interference. So, again, unsa gani itong components na kung gipang-ingon kaganiya sa state. So, first is the nationalism. So, it is the main idea sa isa ka state. Panduha nga component is the physical base of the state. ang iyahang population, ang resources within the state, and ang ilahang technology. And the third component again is the institutional expression. So, mao ni siya ang administrative and political system na aspect sa isa ka state. So, class, its institution manggod and iyahang territory will be clearly defined and stable sila on their own right. So, under si strong state, kay mao na ni siya mga developed na world or country. For example, ang US. So again, ang weak state kay mga third world country like Philippines, ang strong state is developed na mga country like the US. So, as we can see diri sa kuan, additional on sa strong state, strong states are able to carry out mga basic tasks unlike kaganiya sa weak state. They are less able na ma-fulfill ang mga tasks because of the rivalries na ma-encounter sa isa ka state or sa isa ka weak state. While there is a strong state, they are able to carry out basic tasks expected of them. For example, sa task na pwede mabuhat sa strong state kay mabalanse nila ang security, public policy, ang pag-provide og basic goods and services within the nation or the state. So, both state changes the society and it will create dako nga impact sa quality of life, maliban sa quality of life, sa aspect sa education, and even social status sa every citizen na under sa state. So, kaning weak and strong state can be created siya by the will and the action sa buhaton sa tuang gobyerno because of the power which is concerned in the judiciary, legislative, and executive branch of the government. So, we will be discussing that on the elite theory na perspective. So, class, if we say judiciary manggod, this is a system of courts of law. So, amo decide ani kay mga judges or even a branch of government nga naay judicial power na gi-invest or givest sa ilaha sa state. And if we say unsa itong isa, legislative. So, kaning legislative class, it has a power or makaperform sila on the function of legislating. So, this the legislator manggod, they focus on making the laws. Maliban sa pagbuhat sa law, they are also have a power on levying and collecting taxes and making financial appropriations compare sa mga under sa executive na branch. So, sila ang nagabuhat sa financial aspect kung asa mapadulong ang mga budgets and all. So, mao na siya ang sa legislative. So, sa elite theory class. Okay, so let's proceed sa elite theory. So, if we say elite theory, from the word elite, nana siya yung mga different personahe nga involved sa elite. For example, mga mayayaman nga executives, mga politicians, even celebrities, pwede sila ma-under sa elite. So, maliban sa celebrities, pwede sad military leaders. So, unsa ang power sa elite? ang elite manggod class is a small group ni sila of wealthy and influential na mga tao at the top of our society who hold the power and also sa mga resources. So, I will summarize na lang no this whole discussion nga naa diri sa tuang module kaysa sa basahon ko na sa tanan kabalo naman ta tanan magbasa. So let's discuss it thoroughly. So sa elite theory class naay mga issues ta na ma-encounter. So initially society manggod is stratified siya. So social, if we say social stratification, nag-refer ni siya sa mga unequal distribution sa mga wealth and even resources around the world. So naatay 3 P's na tandaan ani. First, property, and panduha, power, then pangatlo is the prestige. If we say property, mao ni siya ang mga capitalist class, mga small capitalist class, and even worker class. While sa power, kaning power it is the capacity nga maka-impluwensya og mga tao and even events para ma-obtain ang wealth and prestige. Then it also have the domination of wealthy males in high-ranking governmental positions kay di ba? Dati kay male lang jud ang accepted nga mo lead sa isa ka nation, and the power to be politically active as way of ensuring their continued power and also sa wealth. Then sa prestige, this is an individual's status among his or her peers and in society. And another one sa prestige is an individual that could increase their status and honor as seen by other people. So, is power used for society's benefit and welfare or personal gain? So, first is that it may come from similar backgrounds and have similar interests and also values na ilang ginasunod. Plus, it will hold the key position sa highest branches of the government, maliban sa makagunit og posisyon or taas na posisyon sa government, pwede sad sa military and even sa business world kay para masulod ka diri sa elite. And another thing or plus point para makasulod ka sa pagiging elite is that influences politics. You can also influence the governmental policies for their own benefit and to protect their own interests. Sila ray mabuhi ani class kat itong mga elite people with this kind of theory kay ilahang ilahang own interest lang man ang ilahang protektahan ani. So because of this kind of theory, ang iyahang magiging outcome, so it will have a personal gain. So ang mga elites are seen as the main participants diriya sa pagbuhat sa mga desisyon. So necessary ba for society or not ang elite theory? It was before, no? Necessary siya for society who are or people who have interest sa mga grupo-grupo. Kaya diba dati kay uso kayong grupo-grupo kung asa ka bilong. So dati, uso kayo, necessary kayo siya sa society kaya para masulod ka sa class nila. Not all interest group manggod in society have first, equal level of power, then panduha, equal access sa power. So, with this, power never become concentrated in the hands of a small, unrepresentative, or minority na grupo. So, excluded ning tatlo. Ang small, ang unrepresentative, and mga minority or belong sa minority group. So, regarding sa ruling sa elites, it is controlled by more ruling na elites who have a prestige. So, from the kuan class sa ato ang week 8 na discussion katong sa Marxist na theory. Marxist form of theorizing which argues that ang power is fundamentally lodged with the owners and controllers of economic production. Then, sa political power, ang political power manggod is seen para mo derive from the economic ownership. So, we can identify a ruling class which not only control the means of production sa pag-distribute o even sa exchange sa mga capitalist sa atong society, but which also nagadominate and even control the institution of political power. So, unsa ang mga different characteristic and even patterns sa elites? So, first, to become more powerful than other and get prestige. Panduha, democracy. Therefore, it will become characterized as a system of competing elites which overlap in terms of influence and even sa membership. Then pangatlo, in this sense, ang mga elite groups are seen in terms of strategic form of power nila. So, for example, a strategic elite sa Great Britain might be the Conservative Party as the party sa tuang government or silang government. So, kaning mga elites ba class and powerful persons are the same? Maybe yes, maybe no. So, class, elite versus the powerful na persons. It's either ang isa ka individual or isa ka grupo might be influential siya in one realm pero na siya kahinaan sa isa ka bagay. And power cannot be taken for granted. So, no one is all-powerful unless na lang kay proven siya through empirical nga observation. So, natay ginatawag nga class, classical elite theory. So, the classic elite theory, which is based siya sa duha ka idea, it's either the power lies in position of authority, in key with the economic and political institution, or the psychological differences nga most set sa mga elites apart is that they have personal resources. So, for instance, regarding sa personal interests, kay nasa intelligence and even skills, and also a vested interest sa ato ang government. While ang rest are incompetent and do not have the capability of governing themselves. So, ang elite are resourceful and will strive to make the government work. Then, classical elite theories manggod generally believe that ang society na to is divided siya between sa ruler, mo sila ang mga elite, and the ruled, kadtong lower pa sa elite. So, they believe that the elite make all the decision in society which are almost always in their own interest. Sila ang pinakauna makinabang. So, this is the same as the general Marxist viewpoint but with one big difference. So, the elite theories believe that ang elite domination is desirable. Dili po nato siya maiwasan and natural. And that everybody else kay applicable ni siya nga type of theory. But the Marxists, however, believe nga ang mga elite domination is unfair. Tinood man po noon, unfair jud siya and even exploitative type siya. Kay again, what I have explained sa tuwang week 8, if we say exploitative, ang mga dato lang makinabang, and with that, kay I'm not sure kung unsang other term anish or nindot na paminawon nga word for this kind of term, katong daog-daugod lang nila ang mga pobre. So, as the saying says, ang mga mayayaman kay mosamot og kayaman, while ang pobre kay mosamot og kapobre. So, classical elite theory, there are 3 scholars who has discussed about this theory. Nadara si Wilfredo Pareto, Gaetano Mosca, and Robert Michael. So, sila ang nag-study sa classic elite theory. So, what is the view of society regarding sa state? So, as what we have mentioned sa tuang week 1, ang economics is not all about sa numbers and even sa money. Sometimes gani economics can be referred to the medium of exchange, diba? And sa tuang definition regarding sa economics, it comes from the Greek word oikos, no? And nomos as home, diba? So, class, it's all about what the society and the individuals want and needs. So, if we will be creating kusog nga estado or the strong state, it is more on the aspect of wants, sa needs, and because nakafocus naman yun sa wants and need, syempre, we will be focusing kung paano sa ato masatisfy ang ato ang wants and needs. So, look at our society. A high number of Filipinos are finding more entertainment na through online activities. Kaysa sa dati, 10 years ago, unsa ra may ginagamit dati? Libro, wala pa'y suga kung mag-study and all. Diba? That was from 10 years ago. So, every year, ang phone models na to, kay replaceable na siya, mo depende sa bagay nga gusto na to. Diba? For example, dati 5110 lang. Mindset pa na to dati, kay dili man jud tanan sa to ang maka-cellphone dati, no? Mo ingon lang ta nga, as long as na makatawag or maka-text, okay na ko ani nga cellphone. Karon kay lahi na, pag naay na nagawas nga nindot kay kamera pa, nindoton pa jud kamera, siguro pag once na achieve na nato ang mga bagay na gusto nato with our cellphone, puhon kay ang atong i-request na pod sa mga company, holographic na lang or hologram type of communication through our mobile phones. So with that, each satisfaction we get, we generate a new kind of want. So mga tech development na to or developer na to are upbringing the lives of the society and many more para maka-create or even maka-generate og mga bagay sa in the perspective of our needs and want para masatisfy nato kung unsa jud tong mga gusto sa ilahang mga clients or customers. So, I think that is all our discussion for today. It is a very short discussion lang regarding sa state, sa strong versus sa weak, and even sa elite theory. So, again, class, so if you have questions and clarification regarding sa to ang discussion for today, please, class, do not hesitate to ask. I know, maulaw mo mag-message sa GC. That is the reason that I allow you to PM me if you have concerns and clarification or gusto ninyo ipa-explain sa kuha further para mabalaan ako kung asa ang wala na sabtan. So, once again, thank you for listening to our discussion and Everyone always keep safe and have a nice day. Thank you and God bless.